I think we can start. Let me again check the participant list. There are only a few of us. I will start the record. Oh, it's actually already recorded. Okay. Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 1st of April, 2026. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. Previous week's meeting have been cancelled due to the KubeCon and the Cloud Native Con Europe, but since we have a new week, finally we have a new meeting. We can skip the introductions. We have only usual participants, and we can continue with the reminders. Please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to help the project with contributing to pull requests or making issues, that you can do by filtering for good first issue or help wanted labels. In the future, we might reconsider using the good first issue label, as based on what we heard in the KubeCon and the maintainer summit from other maintainers. These good first issues seem to attract AI slop and bots, so we might come up with another way of listing issues where we need contributions. If you think that your organization would be willing to publicly acknowledge the adoption of Metal3, that would be great. And you can do that by pushing a pull request and editing the adopters.md file in the root of the community repo, same way as the others have done. On the KubeCon, I have met quite a lot of organizations or the representatives of those organizations, and they are surprisingly large and well-known organizations, yet they are not on our adopters list. There are many reasons for that, but it would be nice to actually have a few more adopters, given that we have much more adopters than or many more adopters than what we have on the list. Yeah, if you are interested about flakes or the CI issues, then please check the Metal3 CI tracker project on the organization's level, and if you have an issue related to the CI or the tests, then please create an issue link in the affected repo and then link it to the Metal3 CI tracker. Recently, in the last few weeks, based on what I've heard from the folks who were on CI duty, the CI was in generally good shape, above 85% of success with the jobs, many times above 90. So it's generally working very well. And if you are interested about any other statistics or information or deliverables or the documentation, please check out these links or previous Metal3 meetings. And with that, I think we can continue with the community working group updates. And I see that Dimitri is typing there.
Yeah, we don't have any news on scalability or anything else here, but it seems that people are interested in various scalability approaches. So it makes sense to at least document what options people have right now, I'm thinking. So maybe I'll kind of create a to-do block where I can document what can be done today. And then we probably have more constructive conversation further on.
Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. But certainly there have been a lot of interest about large deployment recently, and we got a lot of questions on the KubeCon about how many Ironic do I need to sustain a certain number of bare metal machines, or to manage a certain number of bare metal machines. I guess there are not much more about any of the other working groups. I've seen quite a few of the ARM pull requests are still under review. I think we can skip those. And we can go to the release team and the roadmap. Last week Monday, we had a release team announcement that the new patch releases are out. So the 1.12 and 0.12.3 releases and the 1.11.6 and 0.11.6 patch releases went out. So thanks for the release team for cutting the releases. I don't know at the moment about any serious major bugs that were fixed, but if any of you have any info, then feel free to say it.
Yes, I can tell you one bug that we fixed in the CAPM3 was there was an issue that machines were staying in the ready unknown state. If you go to 12.12 release, then I think in the release notes you can see maybe.
It's it's linking me to 12 dot. Yeah, okay. I will go
Yeah,
look
this
at this one.
yeah, this 3237 on the top. Yeah, this one. So if the we don't use Metal3 that template, then machine was not getting ready, even though everything was working fine. So I fixed this, but there's still this issue that if the cluster already deployed cluster, this is still not fixed. I have fixed this much, but we have not done the patch release after that. Um, so maybe we can do another patch release maybe next week or this week. But for the new clusters now it's working fine for the last release that we did. Um, so yeah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the
Now, yeah, thanks, Still. Yeah, I remember this one. I reviewed this one, and it was a very nice improvement. I actually just forgot that this got into the release. I thought this was still under review, but looks like
yeah
it got merged.
yeah
Nice.
it got merged. Yeah. Yeah, other fixes also merged for the already deployed clusters, but I think we do the release after that. Maybe next week we can do it or this week. I can ask release team.
Yeah, that also sounds good because these are quite serious fixes. They were breaking the kind of the end-to-end workflow or the whole cycle. Yeah, thanks for that. Any other questions, comments about the releases, the recent releases? Yeah, if nothing, then we can go and continue with the discussion topics. And we have a reminder for Elaine.
Yeah, I just want to pop in and sort of provide a gentle reminder that I've got some PRs open for the top of rack networking that Ironic now has as a feature, and we're looking to pull that into Metal Cubed. For me, the most important one at the moment is the Ironic image, obviously, because it provides the base for the rest of the PRs. And then after that, the switch functionality in BMO. And then after that, the Ironic standalone operator change that I've also got open right now, which the reason its tests are failing is because the Ironic image isn't merged yet, but that'll come.
Thank you. Yeah, we had quite limited time to check this. I will check this one. I really want to review this one, and it's in my queue. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I understand everyone's busy, and last week there was KubeCon, but just wanted to stop by and just provide a reminder.
yep. Thanks for that. Yeah, I really appreciate that you are trying to keep keep the train moving here. Okay. If there are no further questions related to the switch management, then the next one is from Dimitri, standalone IPAM.
Yeah, thank you. Do you hear me well, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because my Zoom is eating so much CPUs and my laptop is trying to fly away. Anyway, it probably does make a lot of sense to discuss without Leonard and Pepilota, really for both absent. But I want to open the chapter again because I have been in a lot of conversations about using Metal Cube internally, and one of the sticking points is always IP address management, uh, which is currently either DHCP or write a lot of files yourself. And my internal context usually implies no copy. So while this is a solved problem with copy, that's not solved for people I'm talking to. And we had a preliminary Slack discussion today where I figured out that basically the current IPAM is more or less going away. And so the question is, if we want something like the current IPAM in BMO, if it's even acceptable idea for the community, provided that it's going to result in some duplication as Scapy is doing, and maybe move the current IPAM into CAPAM 3 as a small shim on top of that, or maybe it's an independent thing. I don't know. I'm not a big IPAM expert. I just want to voice the concern that for a lot of people who try Metal Cube, IP address management is a bit of an issue. Any
Yeah, I
thoughts?
mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, naively, I would have guessed that then if because I also followed some of these discussions that we have now two IPAM implementations for CAPI. Like there is the one that implements the CAPI's IPAM interface, and the other one is our own. I mean, I wouldn't be against turning our own IPAM that is still working with CAPM3 and completely fine, but we would turn that into one that can run in a more standalone way and work with the BMO. I mean, I don't see it beneficial to invent something from the ground up, given how much experience we already have with this current CAPM3 IPAM. So I would start moving that IPAM into a direction so it can work with BMO. Why not?
Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind. We probably won't revisit it very soon, but I will probably open this conversation again in the middle run. I'm not sure when.
In my opinion, what worth considering is that allocation and leasing process, the claiming the IP addresses, managing the pools, all these things are done, and really taking generating a claim, like basically whoever is consuming or using this IPAM has to just generate a claim, and then access or take the IP address that was generated. That's how more or less how the CAPM3 is using it. Of course, we have the added template rendering logic that you can reference it in the data template and say that this sneak takes an IP from this pool, but that's an added feature. That's not necessarily something that a must if you would have some simpler logic in the BMO. I don't know, just take IPs or whatever without rendering network data files or whatnot, then it's even simpler. So, but in any case, the consumer or the user of the IPAM or whoever generates the claims decides what it does with the IP addresses. So IPAM won't have a say in that how you use the address. And if you just claim an address, that's already there. At least that's how I understand it.
Right, yeah. The current problem is essentially that IPAM requires copy, even though it's not a hard requirement, it kind of is a requirement. You cannot start it without copy, and it can interact with So my problem is I don't control what is happening with copy on OpenShift, and it may be absent, it may be old version, it may be doing things, and having this dependency is a pretty big problem for me. And I
Yeah,
also have to set cluster names and stuff, so it has to become optional.
yeah.
The second
I
problem is, yeah.
Yeah, go on, go on, go on.
Second
It was
problem is
just
I do need templating because if you read my crazy document at some point, or if you remember our conversation on Thursday, I will be eventually looking into group operation kind of host claim set thingy, and that's where lack of IPAM becomes a pretty serious problem and lack of templating because I no longer can, if I need to create 20 host claims from a template, I cannot specify one IP address and I cannot specify network data, like one network data for all 20. So something will have to be done around templates. But I'm also punting on this conversation because my crazy document is already pretty crazy.
okay. I think I would naively think that making an option, maybe like a global option in the IPAM to disable the need for CAPI, that is not that complicated. I would need to check, but I don't really see, other than owner referencing, why would IPAM need the CAPI, other than like tying the pools to the cluster maybe. But if you don't have cluster, then you don't need to tie them to a cluster. So what I'm saying is that we could have an option to sever the connection between the CAPM3 and CAPI and the IPAM. The rendering is a bit more complicated because, well, if you need rendering, then you have to implement it. Like you cannot rely on rendering the templates. You cannot rely on any other service. But that's not an IPAM topic. The rendering is not done in IPAM anyways. It's done wherever you are consuming the IP addresses. So I still see it viable to actually turn the CAPM3 IPAM into a standalone IPAM.
Oh, yeah. The topic of templating really is because of this host claim set idea where it cannot be done without templating because I cannot use some third party something to prepare a network data because I need to have the same network data for 20 claims, which is not going to work. So
Yep.
that's where I'm thinking I need both templating and IPAM in kind of the same place.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I also had ideas around this, that technically there is a missing layer in the whole MetaCube stack. So you have the BMO that manages bare metal stuff like the lifecycle and these things, and then you have the CAPM3, which is basically an interface implementation and some extra tooling, but it's there to connect the CAPI to the BMO basically, or give this. But there is a middle layer in between where we don't really have the single cluster manager, or the layer where you would have just what CAPM3 does but without CAPI. So it's like the CAPI is doing CAPM3 is doing two different, architecturally different roles that would be better to be separated, but it's not, and that's kind of the problem in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, I guess you are seeing this, but I am not sure that all these things should be put in the BMO, because the reconciliation loop in the BMO is getting out of hand uh, as we are introducing more and more custom resources.
Yeah, I guess there may be a reasonable argument for having BMO as a single repo, but having several controllers. Like I'm thinking, why shouldn't we actually make host claim controllers a separate binary within BMO? But yeah, that's related, but not exactly like. Uh, it's not necessarily the same thing, right? It kind of assumes that BMO is a single controller, but I guess it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I think this is a much larger discussion. But the IPAM part again, I think we can reuse the CAPM3 IPAM and then turn it to its standalone IPAM or give an option to be a standalone IPAM.
Okay, cool.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other comments? I see some likes. Let me check the chat. Okay, no comments. Okay, then we can continue.
I might have a question like to Dmitry. So
Yeah, go on.
in your use case, it's just like a visa. You need or like you're suggesting to use the BMO and IPAM together, right? Like without KP and KPM3 layer.
Basically, yes. I have people looking for bare metal provisioning for things that are already kind of like copy already. So it doesn't make sense for them to introduce copy because they have things like, I don't know if anyone familiar with Red Hat technologies like multi-cluster engine or other orchestrators that take the place of copy in their architecture, and they need the bare metal layer, not the orchestration layer.
And then were they using it like that before?
Right now, I'm fighting with a lot of people trying to write their own metal cubes.
No, I mean like were they before using it like a BMO together with IPAM
Yeah.
in their implementation?
They weren't using anything. They currently there are a few projects that are starting, and there are a few people who are trying to basically write their own metal cubes. And one of the reasons they're doing that, or the most hard to defeat reason they're doing that is lack of IPAM. There are also people who go to metal cube competitors because
I see.
listing this is one of the reasons. No, it's not the only reason, but that's definitely is mentioned over and over again.
I see. In that case, it's really serious, and we should really consider that. One of the ideas was to moving to the CAPI IPAM was to actually make it like everyone use our IPAM, like the others also available our IPAM for use. But yeah, we can discuss it further in separate chat, separately. Thank you for your for explaining, Dmitry. Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Sunat. Yep. I think this might be actually an area that I might have a person to work on to speed this up. What's your time window, Dimitri, for this IPAM and other stuff? Or specifically, let's just talk about this IPAM.
Have two timelines, either yesterday or eventually. So for people who are looking at MetalCube right now, it's just way too late. But that's not going to be over. So I'm looking for a completely different MetalCube story. The document I shared with you, by the way, folks, the document I'm referring to is on Slack. So if I did not ping you, just find it there. It's kind of my attempt to have a vision for multi-tenant MetalCube a year from now, 2 years from now. Eventually when we'll get the picture that people are looking for, and at some point they stop coming and saying, well, it's so fine, but that's not what they're looking for, and just start taking this. So it's a bit of forward-looking strategic work in this case, because people who need it yesterday, we already cannot do that for them.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, I think we have a clear picture on this requirement here. I think we should then continue with the other topics. Thanks for bringing this up. I will take this also further on my end because I think we shouldn't lose adopters because of this. Then we have a topic from Vishal looking for reviews. I think you pinged people on Slack also. Are you in the call? No, if I see correctly. Okay, so I think I can show it anyways. So the bridge configuration via the MetaCube data template. This one I haven't checked. It seems to be completely new. We have some bridge op. I might be wrong, but we have to check this bridging stuff because I don't remember if this was actually in the network data format, but probably it is, but I don't remember any of this bridging stuff there. This is a yep.
I will also check that. I think Vishal was here at the beginning, but he left. I think he wanted to get like the initial idea or like initial. According to the PR state, it's still in the draft, so like initial feedback he wanted to get, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. It pretty much looks like that, and but I have the vague memory that on the interface configs we have some bridging related options, but yeah, we have the bonds. The bonds I remember, but this bridge stuff I don't remember at all.
I don't think there is, and the problem is if you want to translate it in the ironic format, if I remember well, there is no support because the bridge is more or less equivalent of a network, and so I guess there will be also some change. At least if you want to push it with a standard cloud init the way it is done to the format that is used.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same what I'm thinking, that this OpenStack network data format is not really, I haven't seen in the format document these things, the support for this. Yeah, but I have to check. But yeah, I have the same understanding. Okay, and then the other one was this event reconciliation for IRSO. That I have reviewed. I mean, it's proposal for generating a specific set of lifecycle events from the IRSO. I think it's looks reasonable, but if any of you who are more into the IRSO and you are interested, please check this one. I mean, I think it's better than just generating a billion different events. This set of events that he proposed seemed to be reasonable. This set of events. So yeah, please check that.
I can check it, but I have a question for people who know more about Kubernetes than me. This work proposes events like reconciling and reconciled, which are, just as the name suggests, going to be issued on every reconciliation, both of them. Is it a good idea actually to do that? Is it what other Kubernetes controllers actually do?
I mean, I guess he has reconciling, but then he says that beginning of reconciliation for an ironic object. So
And similarly, do we need events for transient errors like, I don't know, some network bleep, stuff like this?
What happens if you edit something on the ironic object? Is it will that mostly result in a redeployment or not?
It's going to propagate into the deployment of daemon set. So it's going to handle it according to its rollout strategy.
Yeah, then it's not that far-fetched in my opinion. For the transient errors, yeah, because these are events, not status fields. So I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this, even if we can debate the reconciling part, but
Yeah.
but these are not statuses, these are events. So for me these are fine.
From what I remember when I was working with the transient errors, so we normally didn't create an event for the transient errors, only if there was a terminal error, which we never had. So, yeah.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you really want to monitor it and it is running into transient errors from time to time, it might be worth capturing these events because that might point to an underlying problem. So again, it's not status, it's event. So
Yeah, okay. It makes sense. And also, like, sorry for like what we consider as a transient error as well. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, Dimitri, do you have any reflections to that or?
No, sorry, this was just a comment and thinking out loud, and we can continue discussion separately. Sorry, there was my kid playing around. I had to mute. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
I'll take a look at this patch, but I'm unconvinced about reconciling and about transient conditions here, to be honest. I think I have a valid point that you need to observe transient failures. I think the right place to do that is Prometheus exporter or like metrics your service exports, not events. Events for me are kind of user visible state changes rather than debugging information for potentially an operator, not even the user of these API resources. Like as a user,
Yeah.
what is I'm supposed to do if there is transient error from sometimes, right?
Yeah, but isn't there an event exporter that you can then load into Prometheus and then look back on?
If there isn't, we should have one. We probably don't have one, and we really should.
I mean, and not us, but in general, like Kubernetes event exporter. I vaguely remember that that's a thing that just captures all the events.
Isn't there a risk for scalability of having too many events for etcd and the API server?
Yeah, there is, but these events are not kept forever, right? In the
Yes, but
Kubernetes daemon.
if you have a large deployment, you will probably have a really lot of events.
Yeah.
If you go this route.
Yeah, I agree. Like the real question here is that how many events this will generate if we have this. Okay, I would say that that's a good point on what will be the volume of events we are generating. I might write some further comments here. We could tune this proposal. Like we could take out the reconciling and the reconcile, because I now see that there is actually already ready and not ready. So we could work with those rather than this reconciling stuff. Okay. Yeah. I will do it right now. Actually, I will remove my GTM. Um,
I think you had a typo there in the word cancel.
yeah, I will fix it. Thanks.
If I understand correctly, so that for each reconciliation, and then after the reconciliation, he wants to create an event, right? Now I read. Oh no, that would be too much, I guess.
It seems excessive to me.
Yeah, exactly. And because it's like what, every 30 seconds or so, that'd be quite a lot of like messages. So it's too much.
Oh, it's not going to reconcile the object forever, right? At some point, it will stop when there's nothing to do, and then we'll only reconcile again on any changes. But while we are working on the ironic object, it can be dozens of events like that. While it's working through the state, we get notification because deployment changes, and there was like easily a dozen of reconciliation per ironic object per each change or during creation.
Yeah, and it might be too noisy. It will be eventually. Like it will be too noisy. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, something like this, and you folks can extend it. But that's a good point that at scale, this will be a problem. Did it cancel the GTM? Let's try again.
It's blocked on my review anyway.
Just want to take this away also. If not, I will take it away manually. Okay, now it's removed it. Okay, nice. Some pair reviewing. Okay. Yep, I think that was all for Vishal. And you have, yeah, the force detachment. Oh yeah, I started looking into it like 4 times. I just can't get through it.
Yeah, it's not entirely trivial, I must admit. It's a few bits where things need to be changed.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if I will be able to review it or someone will be faster. Okay, so these were all the topics. We need to do some triaging. We don't have much time, and let's see what we have. Okay, user guide document, what can be done for scaling today? Great, I think. Triage accepted, kind documentation. Let's see if it reacts. Yes, accepted documentation, good. Next one, run controller locally on kind. It would be helpful to have instructions or support for running IX and down operator control locally on kind cluster. You can do it with the devenv already. Also for kind, I think, right? I don't remember.
Yes,
Oh no, not yeah. It's the ironic is outside of the cluster on kind.
Yeah, on
So,
kind there is an issue with networking.
yeah.
On Minigame it's working fine in the
Yeah,
demo.
yeah. I think
We solved the issue in the BMO. In BMO we have a it's so in kind. So
yeah.
how we are doing it, I think we can maybe link the PRs where we fix this issue related to networking in kind.
Yeah, but if this would have like a is it documentation or question? Okay, I think it's just question. Question. Let's see. If you know about this, then please answer it.
because there's a pull request that they're creating.
Huh. Oh. Oh. Phew.
I would say tag Nuti also. He
Okay.
worked on this. He's all in the PMO. He can probably look into the documentation that he's doing, if it's okay or not.
Okay. Okay, the link checker freaking out. Yeah, this seems to be legit. The old links. Okay, next one. Oh, yeah, it might be just was the previous also false positive then? It looked very old, so yeah, they seem to be actually just false positive. What's the invalid? The kind invalid? No, just regular invalid. Okay, these were invalid, and healthy condition on bare metal stays unknown despite ironic reporting health status. Huh. Okay, this sounds legit.
The PR is open for it as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. Project. It's in BMO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person also added like this healthy condition himself, and the issue is related. He knows the best. Yeah.
Yes. You are absolutely right. Let's try to aim it for the next. Okay. Applying for organization membership. What?
Yeah, it's me on this. Like I follow the contribution ladder.
Okay.
I would say process, and so I directly assign Geshift to it as the process says to assign to node maintainer, and since I looked about it with him, then that's why I chose him. But anyone can do.
Oh, what's your handle? Yeah, I'm copying it. Where is my phone? Okay, I will do it after the meeting. I don't have my phone around me. Yeah. Okay. Then I think that was the last one, because this needs. Yeah, no, this actually needs. Okay. What is this? Fails on macOS.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't support macOS
Okay. Yeah.
at all. So that's fine. I will probably put this on invalid, but on first glance, this is not relevant. Then the E2E tests are lacking non-default path testing. We have a lack of testing coverage exposed by the spear error configuration. Removed. Which PR is this one? Remove. Okay. That was merged just today, so. Kind CI. Okay. I reviewed that just recently. Okay, publish multi-arch ARM 6 containers for capacity releases. Okay, why not? The accepted kind CI. Oh, we can say kind feature also. And let's put this into features. Let's put this on roadmap and capacity VIP and milestone. Let's pick 114. Okay, then Guided Metal Cube install mission in queue. What? Okay, I will check that because I heard about the project this year and I've seen that it has a huge velocity and all this good stuff, but this is a little bit out of the blue. This cube stellar for me. I will check this later. And all the other ones are the old ones. Okay. I don't know. Feel free to check this cube stellar one. I completely it's completely out of context for me. I checked just the UI online. I didn't even know about this project before. And then we have the Mac stuff that I have to check, but it's probably invalid what the tool wants. So I'll container this for the only feature. Okay. Yeah, let's leave it like this. Okay, we are done with triaging. Is there any question, comment, request? I don't want to steal more of your time. If there is nothing else. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I will do the organization membership for you, Nicholas, and then other than that, thank you all for joining today. Sorry it was a bit long-winded, and let's meet next week same time, and until then, have a great week. Bye bye.
Yep,
Thank you.
Adam.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Next week. Bye.